Rise and shine, it's time for D is for drama. That's drama with the D. She puts the D in drama. Her guests will spill the tea. Tune into D is for drama. If gossip's what you need, it's time for D is for drama. That's drama with the D.
Hey.
D. Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
That's a slapper right there.
I'm your host, Shannon D, and today I am joined by actress, comedian. You can find her every other Monday,
Hey,
right?
yeah.
Doing improv on the UCB stage with her team, Hoop Dreams. Please welcome Jenae. Oh, wait. Should I try? Galang?
Yeah, that was
Did I
good.
do it?
mean, I guess
What
the
is
proper
it?
way is like Galang.
Oh, Galang.
But, you know, I just say,
What do you say?
I say whichever. So,
Just
but it
whatever
is
comes
formally
out.
Galang.
Galang.
Yeah. As,
Jenae Galang.
Filipino.
I love it.
We out here. Thank
well,
you.
Welcome.
Thank you
Yes,
for
so we're
having
both
me.
UCB gals.
Yes, we are.
She's
How
on
fun.
the improv team.
And she's on the sketch.
Mhm.
Oh, bro, she be killing it on the sketch.
Oh, thank you. You're killing on the improv.
Thank you.
And we are also in Meisner. That's how we met, in Meisner class.
Yeah.
And you guys now have met Colton last week.
Yes. And Katie, right?
Katie K. She was on Tall Girl Problems, which was probably my most problematic episode.
Oh,
We
true.
had some
Really?
listeners. Yeah, I have to actually still respond to one of the guys. I read the comment and then he commented back, and I have yet to respond to that because it was like 10 paragraphs long.
Oh my gosh.
But then he like commented on my Spotify episode again, being like, "Are you gonna respond?"
Oh God.
I'm like, all right, well, I need like 3 days to read
Yeah,
your
he-
comment.
He wrote a thesis.
Literally.
I wish he poured more energy into his other part of life.
Exactly. Exactly. But anyway, so I wanted to have Jenae on because I saw a little bit of kindred spirit in her. We are both troublemakers, I would say.
A little mischievous.
A little classroom troublemakers. And I first noticed this when she did not read her assignments on time.
Okay, wait. Okay. And you know what? And listen, I can take accountability for stuff. I did not read it yet. I was told multiple things because I missed the class prior. And I didn't. Okay. We didn't have to have the scenes memorized that day. We were doing it for the next week.
Yep.
And so, and this is completely on me. I still take accountability. So
Mhm.
when he asked the week before, like what people's circumstances were,
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna like bullshit and lie. Like I took out my phone and I was like trying to read it in between like.
While he
like-
was talking to everyone else.
And then I was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna just tell him I didn't read it and I
Yeah.
didn't feel bad, but his comment
Mhm.
made me feel like
After.
fuck.
Because it was like maybe you were like late a couple times before, like absent or something. There was something going on where he felt like you were not all in.
Yeah, which kind of sucked because at the time, like I was struggling. Like I was the one holding my scene partner at the time accountable.
Oh, see.
You know, and like I love my scene partner, you know, but and they know the struggles that we had while we worked together. And part of it was like because I was working a full-time job at the time.
Yeah.
I'm on UCB, so we have to rehearse once a week, and I had another improv team I was a part of.
Yeah.
Plus, we had to rehearse twice a week for class.
It's a
so
lot.
if you're late, I can't stay longer. I have to be out. I have a meeting, you know?
Oh.
So I had to, you know, there were certain rehearsals where like they didn't show up for 20 minutes, which is fine. Like life happens. But if it's
Mhm.
like repeated, I can't adjust my schedule.
Yeah.
So hearing our teacher, basically what happened is I didn't have my assignment read in time. And I got, you know, kind of lectured a little bit. And
Mhm.
sure, rightfully so. Like I wasn't prepared with the thing he asked me to have prepared.
Yeah.
And so he was like, this is something I'm worried about with you. He was like,
Work ethic. or
yeah, your
something,
work
right?
ethic. I'm concerned about your work ethic. That's what it was. And I was like, I mean, I just sat there. I'm not going to get defensive. I didn't have my shit memorized. You know, I know when to shut the hell up for the most part. Well, I've learned because I've done a lot of bad student stuff.
Yeah.
But I just sat there and then he was like, yeah, I'm worried about your work ethic. I'm concerned about it, whatever. And I was just like, damn, like I generally have really good work ethic. You know, like I'm setting up the rehearsals. I'm booking the space. I'm making sure we get shit done. And I just this one thing that I didn't have. Fuck, that's what that's what represented me. Did I tell you what happened when I saw him at a party?
No, our teacher? What? No.
Bro, that was hanging over my head. And like me not feeling great in Meisner, it's subjective. It's
Mhm.
hard to see, there's this quote that's like, it's hard to see the label when you're in the jar. And yeah,
Oh,
so like
like
I couldn't
that.
tell if I was getting better, if I was growing, if things were clicking. I could
Yes.
just feel the frustration of not
Mhm.
getting it or getting the same note and being like, how the fuck do I push through?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm getting better. I'm insecure about like how my teacher perceives me in this class. That's really challenging for your human.
Yeah.
It's so
Very
mentally like
emotional.
emotionally, and which is great. That's what we signed up for.
Which, because I don't think I've mentioned this before, but with this class, you have to be coming up with what do we call it? Like imaginary circumstances
Yeah,
that
like
are like a 10,
crafting.
like a
Yeah.
10, meaning like your mom passed away, the love of your life
Just-
had an affair with your best friend. Like it has to be like the worst things that could ever
Yeah.
happen to you. I did one where, trigger warning, I was watching like someone's dog and I left the dog in the car. Like it's shit
Yeah.
like that we're on a weekly basis having to live in. So just for you guys context
Thank
of like
you,
how
yes.
intense this class is.
So already not sure where I stand, and the student in me wants to do well because I care about at least doing well as an actor.
Mhm.
And so I run into him at a mutual friend's like birthday party. And, I go over to him, I say hi. And my boyfriend at the time, I actually met our teacher through him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he recommended his class.
Mhm.
And so, David goes, my ex, he's like, how is she? How's she doing in class? And I'm already drunk. I'm pretty high. Like I'm an intersection. I'm crossed.
Yeah.
Our teacher is like, snarkily like laughing and being like, she's horrible. She didn't have her thing memorized, but she's getting better. She's getting better. And like in my mind, I'm already like,
well, you're
I'm
like
already
high
crossed.
and paranoid,
I know. I
probably.
was like, oh my God, he thinks I don't care. He thinks I don't care. So I'm thinking about this the entire rest of the party. And
Of
I'm like, I have to
course.
go find him and tell him. I
Oh,
can't. He's lost. He's
no.
gone.
Okay.
And then we have a class.
That's probably for the best.
10,000%. Thank God. I would have
thank
cried
God.
probably
No,
at the
for sure.
party.
I know.
Anyway, we have class, and then I felt terrible about class. I think I was just like really struggling with like whatever my activity was. I was frustrated because I kept getting the same note, and I can't remember what it was, but I just felt like I hit a wall.
Oh, is this when you cried?
Yeah.
To call you out.
Wait, what?
I think you did, like on stage, like.
Oh yeah, I was like crying. Oh, was it the
Not
boxing
about
one?
the thing, but like about some notes. I think you were just frustrated.
Yeah, I was like so frustrated, but it's hard for me to remember because there's been so many moments like that.
Yeah.
Which happens when you're just trying
I
to
call
grow
her
it
the
and-
troublemaker of the class.
Yes, she does. Okay, so because I care,
But in the most loving way.
yeah, like I care, but like I can't help but just goof.
Yeah.
So anyway, after that class, I was like so frustrated, and I was already paranoid about our teacher thinking that like I don't care about this class.
Mhm.
I was driving home sobbing, and I was like, I feel it in my heart. I have to send him a voice memo.
Oh no.
I'm like, I have to send him a voice memo. So I park. I'm like recording this. I'm like, hey, listen, like,
While
you
you're
said this
crying.
while I'm sobbing. I am pouring my heart out into this voice memo. I look, and it's like over 3 minutes long. I was like, I can't send this.
Oh my
I
God.
can't send this. She's not gonna listen to this. I delete it.
Okay,
I
thank
re-record
God.
it.
No.
I re-record it. I am sobbing again,
Oh, no.
heart pouring out into this voice memo, and again 3 minutes long.
Yeah,
so I
same
sent
thing.
it, and I was just like, fuck it. And then he responded very promptly and was like, I hear your concern. I'm so grateful you said something.
Oh,
I was,
really?
yeah. He was like, I know that some people can be really challenging to work with, and like you have grown so much. And he was also saying like, last night I made some I was being like really snarkily playful, and I should have known that my words might not have come across in that way.
Well, especially because it's kind of sensitive.
Yeah, because
anyway.
he integrated some real class
real
stuff that I didn't know my stuff or whatever, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, is this a joke? And I'm already intoxicated.
Exactly.
So anyway, it's fine now. But that was like,
Did he voice memo back?
no. He
texted?
just texted back. And I was like, it was really embarrassing. Oh, after I got his message, I was like, wait, it was just a joke? I'm sobbing, pouring my heart out.
What did you
A joke? No,
What did you say?
I think I said, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. And then he was like, no, I'm glad you said something. I mean,
Okay,
I am
good,
too,
good,
because
good.
at some point it would have just been in the back of my mind, like, you really think I don't take this seriously?
I think also class got better for you after that.
Yes, because I showed the fuck
You
up. I
stepped
memorized
up.
the hell out of my scene.
Yeah, you stepped it up after
Yeah.
that for sure.
But you know, as someone who is just naturally drawn to mischievousism,
Mhm. Same.
I had this. Can I?
Yeah, let's
okay.
get into the real.
Okay. Disclaimer, I'm a full-on idiot in like the best way and the worst way. Like, I'm just very eager to make a bold choice and deal with the consequences, okay? And so in Meisner, you have person A, who has an activity that takes your full focus. You have a well-crafted, meaningful reason to do this activity. You have a
Mhm.
time limit. I was the person with the activity. Person B is coming to the door, and
So they like knock on the door as the other person's doing this like activity that's supposed to be like, you know, for your mom who has cancer kind of thing. So they're interrupting the scene.
person A, the person with the activity, me, also has to have an expectant. I'm
Mhm.
expecting, so for that class, my activity was my brother was gonna come over later, and and he's sick, and he's just sick, and he's always wanted to do like the Hot Ones podcast. So I like set up the Hot Ones podcast, and I was prepping for like that, you know, filming an episode, and my expectant was that
Meaning, like who you think is going to be at the door knocking.
Yeah, who you think is going to be at the door knocking. I expected that one of my best friends got a job as the creative director at TikTok, and I was going to, you know, we were going to celebrate with a joint. Okay?
Mhm.
So, you know, I'm doing my activity, I'm in it, and then like I just hear a knock at the door.
Knock.
I hear a knock at the door, and I'm like, okay, new creative director at TikTok. I grab the joint, I light it up, I open the door, and Jack is like, whoa, you know, whatever.
Partner.
And then they stopped. Our teacher stopped our exercise.
So this was our TA, like our teaching assistant, because our other teacher was out. And she was like, I know you did not just light up a joint in this theater. And Jenae turns around like a deer in headlights and she goes, I didn't inhale.
Oh yeah, she's like, I know you're not smoking. I know something like that. Yeah, like I know you're not smoking a joint in this building, whatever. And I was like, I didn't inhale, which is like,
and to me, I was like, okay, Bill Clinton, I did not inhale.
I did not even know that reference until Shannon brought it up after, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, like I don't know if you guys remember that from like the 90s. He got in trouble for like smoking weed when he was a kid or something, and then he said like, I did not inhale.
Anyway, yeah, so
our teacher was extremely
livid, and rightfully so. Like, what a dumb mistake. You know, obviously I had no malintentions. I wasn't thinking about it truly. Like, I just thought it would be, well, I committed to the moment. I thought it would be fun, and I didn't think to stop myself.
Yeah.
And
she was upset because it was like, which I don't think you were trying to do, but you're not supposed to like be under any influence when you're working and acting. And then B, like when you're on set anyway, like anytime there's those kind of like a joint or a cigarette, it's all fake. And then C, like everybody else is like either secondhand smoke or getting triggered, because we do have some students that are in like recovery. And then I think also just like not lighting up inside.
Yeah, like keeping the space safe and sacred. Like she's just very passionate about like keeping the space comfortable and safe for all the students. And these are all valid points.
Yeah, totally valid.
I was not arguing back. I didn't say anything. I just kind of let it all happen. So, you know, they had us redo it. And you know, we didn't get any notes about the actual exercise.
Afterwards, she was like, I literally, like, I can't even give you any notes because I'm so mad right now. And just then like lecture Jenae so bad
in front of the class, which is fine. In front of
the whole class. And
you know?
I was just sitting there like, I felt for you so bad because like I can see myself like doing something like that. And I was just like, oh my God. And honestly, I didn't smell the smoke until like minutes later. Like, cause I kind of sit towards the back cause I'm a back of the class kind of kid.
Yeah.
and the smoke didn't come to me for a while, but then I was like, oh shit, like I can smell
I
that
only
too.
get the dank.
And I can see how
It was bad.
and I can
this
see
is
how
not
people
to downplay. Yeah.
how people got triggered, because then our teacher also opened it up to the floor
After
to
break.
have everybody like share if they had a bad reaction to it. And, you know, we had some people who were in recovery who shared that it was triggering for them.
Yeah,
and-
yeah. What was nice was I do feel like people did a really great job, and I'm lucky that everybody was able to see, like, I had no ill intentions, like it wasn't on purpose.
No.
But you know, obviously it's a mistake I have to learn from, and I did. And you know, I truly like I will say I you know, I wanted to hold space for everybody there. I'm grateful that like it happened the way that it did. It was very intense. It was a lot of
very
energy.
intense. I mean, you know, I felt that way. Like I came up to you right
Yeah,
after.
Shannon was the first person to come up to me and like check in, and it meant so much because in that moment I felt so bad and so isolated because I was like, oh my
probably thought
God, I
everyone
just
hated
fucked
you.
up the whole class. Like truly, yeah. I mean, I didn't know who thought it was a big deal and who didn't, but
Mhm.
regardless, like how ignorant of me not to even think like there are people who could be triggered by this because I love weed.
For sure.
And some people do love weed, but it's just not healthy for them for whatever reason. So they can't really be around it. And
Yeah.
like, I didn't even take that into consideration until it was brought to my attention and how serious it really is to some people. So that like
Yeah.
created a moment of like, you know, it was a good learning moment.
It
for
was
me.
definitely a good learning experience for sure.
But it was very intense, and I'm not lighting up anything else in class.
No way.
Okay, maybe
Not
a
even
candle.
A fake one.
Maybe a candle.
Are
I've
we even
lit a
allowed to have
candle.
fire? I think that
I
was the
don't
other thing.
know.
I don't think we're even allowed
Well,
to do that.
So don't do it.
Don't do it. If ever you find yourself in a Meisner 2-year program,
Don't light
do
it.
not light up.
Especially not a real one.
No. I'm honestly kind of, I always wonder how our actual teacher, like our main teacher, would have reacted if
I feel like he would have
was
like.
there.
I feel like he would have been pretty. Well,
Pissed.
okay. I think he would have been pretty pissed. I have heard other takes where someone was like, I think he would not have reacted like that.
Really?
I don't know. Not to say either reaction. I think the reaction was whatever it needed to be.
Yeah.
You know, I can't really change
It
or
all
wish for anything
happened
different.
how it's supposed to.
Yeah, you know, I've been getting in trouble a lot since I was little. So I've
Yeah.
learned how to just sit there and take accountability for when, you know that
Yeah,
saying?
you're good about not being defensive.
I try. Only in the work. I get really like, because we're just sensitive artists when
Yeah.
it comes to the work. But the saying, don't ask for
Oh.
permission, ask for forgiveness.
Yes.
That comes with a mess. So if you're gonna
does.
ask for forgiveness, like you gotta be
You gotta be ready
prepared.
to.
Yeah. And I feel like asking for forgiveness is part of it is just being able to sit there and listen
Yeah,
because
it's true.
they feel a type of way they're entitled to feel. So
Mhm.
I just kind of have to allow the space
Yeah.
to really hear them.
That's what's fun about this class is that there's not only drama with the acting that we bring, but there's also a little bit of like juicy drama within the students
That
and
was
teachers
probably the
as
most
well.
dramatic.
Sometimes.
And you know what sucks even more? We got our second and final scenes for the class.
What?
I still didn't have my scene read when he
yeah.
asked us questions.
But guess who else didn't? Me.
Shit.
And I was the first one that didn't. He called on me first.
He started at the back
I
of
was
class.
like, fuck. And I just like covered my face and I was like smiling and I was like, I didn't read the play. And I honestly think though it was good that I took the heat off of
I
you.
appreciate that.
And you needed it.
She had my back.
Yeah. I've actually think I've been like a fairly decent student in this class, but I'm usually like not a good student.
It's crazy that you think that. What do you mean?
I guess I should say that when things interest me, I'm a good student. So like, I guess with this one, and then like I've been in like, you know, pilot writing classes, and I'm always like, those are like the only classes I've ever been like, you know, raising my hand a bunch and like asking a lot of questions. I'm like, oh my God, I've never been like this before. Is this what it feels like to be one of those students that like is interested in school? Because I always like hated school. I hated homework. Was always trying to like, you know, copy people's homework and stuff. Like it wasn't for me at all. And I was a troublemaker too, for sure.
No, I feel that. I feel like I was a pretty good academic student.
Mm-hmm.
I was just such a behaviorally distracting student.
Yeah.
Disruptive, I think, is probably the word I hear the most.
Yeah. I would say
But you
I was
ask really
too.
good questions in class. I'm like, damn, you're brave.
Thank you. I'm brave.
Well, because, you know, like some of the questions are hard to ask because the question itself has to do with one of our peers' work.
Oh,
So it's like, how do you
yeah.
ask it in a way where you're not like
Oh,
sounding like you have any opinion about the work? You're just curious,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
And I feel like you do a really good job at that because I'm like, I wanted to know
Thank you.
that.
I know sometimes I'm a little judgy, maybe, but one time he was like, "Well, I don't like how you're judging someone else's work, but."
And she wasn't. I think you were just genuinely curious about
Yeah.
like why that got certain
It is
feedback
hard for me.
or-
We're not allowed to give any feedback when after their work, and it is hard for me sometimes to be like, "Well, hold on a second."
Yeah, like why is that one? Because I got that note, but you told me not to do that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
when
yeah.
I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but like
No,
there are some moments like that where I'm like,
For sure. But your weed smoking one kind of reminds me of this one story that I have where I brought substance to school. So I think we're just going to go back and forth and tell a little bit of our like troublemaking stories to each
We have
other.
many.
We have many. But so I think I was a junior. No, I might have been a sophomore, which geometry. When are you in geometry?
sophomore. I was a sophomore
You were
when I did
sophomore?
geometry.
I think I might have been a junior. I don't think I would have done this sophomore year. Okay, so junior year, I was bored. Like, I was just bored with life in general.
Mhm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to bring alcohol into school tomorrow. So I wake up early. So I had to get on like a 6:50 a.m. bus to go to school because I went to a school, county away from me, Gloucester County.
Oh wow.
I was in Camden County because we were in a performing arts high school and there wasn't one in Camden County. So I would bus there really early in the morning so my parents wouldn't even be up. And so I like took a water bottle and filled it to the brim with vodka and like lemonade, I guess.
Nice.
So I get to school and one of my girlfriends, like, I think I like maybe mentioned to her that like I had something in my drink or something like that. And she's like, well, wait, what is it? And I was like, no, nothing. And she's like, well, here, let me sip it. And she wasn't the brightest. We were sitting in the front of class. It was like before, any lesson was starting yet. And she take a sip of it and she goes, oh my God, what is that? And so then the teacher's like looking over and I'm like, nothing, it's nothing. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I know.
And so thank God, shout out to my friend Chelsea. She walks over and she goes, well, wait, what's going on? And I was like, oh, nothing. And I think my other friend was like, she's got alcohol in her bottle.
Yeah.
And I was like, shut up.
Yeah, you could just.
And mind you, this is like 8 a.m. And so then Chelsea takes a sip of it and she goes, nope, it's nothing. It's fine. And then like hands it back to me. And I can see the teacher like looking over us. Luckily, this is a really cool teacher. And like, so he didn't investigate any further. But like immediately I go, can I go to the bathroom? And I take the drink with me because I don't want any evidence.
Yeah.
And I just go out in the hall and I chug the whole thing.
Stop.
Instead
You
of
don't want
like,
any- you chug it.
instead of like pouring it down the drain or anything, just chug the whole thing. And I probably filled it up. Like, when you're a kid, you don't know ratios at all
I was
of
gonna
alcohol.
ask.
And I was like trashed. And so I go back into class and I am just like, I wasn't blacked out or anything, but I was just like super drunk. And then the rest of the day, like the rumor mill like got around that I was like drunk because I was like kind of like stumbling in the hallways and stuff and like being obnoxious. And then we went to a geometry class and we were working on tessellations. Do you know tessellations?
I don't remember.
It doesn't really matter, but it's like when you take a rectangle and you cut out like a circle on the one side and then you put it on the other and it's like tiles. Like they tessellate into each other. So we were working on those and that was our project. And
While you're drunk.
when I'm like so drunk, he's like, okay, does everyone like know what they want to do for their final project? And I just go in the middle of the class. Yeah, tessellations, bitch.
Wait, that's iconic.
Once again, I don't know how this teacher like didn't do anything about it. Maybe he didn't hear me or something. It was kind of one of those, like, it was towards the end of class where everyone's kind of like chatting a little bit. But I definitely said it so loud and like all my classmates, like that became like a huge running joke between all of us.
Hilarious.
And I don't know how, but I like truly got away with this.
Tessellations,
Bitch. And completely got away with it, like unscathed. And the other thing too was that I had this thing in high school, like I always wanted to seem a lot cooler than I was. Like I wanted to pretend I was like this like bad girl. You know, part of me like wanted to be this way, but I didn't want to seem like a loser that was like doing it alone. So everyone in class, which any of my friends listening, you might not even know this, I told everyone that I was like out the night before with all of my like hometown friends because I didn't want to just seem like a loser who had just like filled up her water bottle. So I like just pretended like I was out all night and I'm drunk because I was like out the night before. So I seemed like really cool.
Did people believe that?
Yes.
Wait, that is like, okay, listen, you've been writing a plot since you were young, girl. You've been doing it for the plot.
My listeners know that I have been, for sure. For sure. I lied a lot as a kid, like to seem cooler.
That makes sense.
And like for attention and stuff. Thank God I got into acting. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
I needed
good redirection.
And that's what's amazing about our class is that you can like have this drama that isn't real life drama.
Yeah.
That you can make it up.
And then you can click out of it when you need to. Oh my gosh, yes. It's a good direction.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So no alcohol and weed in classrooms, okay? For any of my young listeners.
Keep it out. Learn from our mishaps.
Tell the listeners how old were you when you got your first detention?
Oh my gosh. I got my first detention when I was in 2nd grade. And my birthday is in October, so I was probably still 6 years old.
I think that they didn't even have detention in elementary school, but they like specially made it for you.
Well, I went to a Catholic
We'll make
school.
an exception.
Yeah. They're like, this little tiny girl won't stop talking. Let's put her in there. Yeah, so
put her in a cell.
Let's put her in a freaking class during recess. So I was in 2nd grade. I went to a Catholic school. I always got in trouble for talking. So much so, like I would even get sent out of the class like when I was in 1st grade. And my brother, who's 3 years older than me. So the way that our school worked was like 1 through 4 is on this side, and then 5 through 8 is on this side. And so my brother is in 4th grade. So he's just like he's like down the hall. And I'm in 1st grade. I would get sent outside for talking in 1st grade. I'm like 5, precipice 6. And I got sent out a lot. And my brother apparently told my mom, he was like, I saw Jenae sitting out on the bench again.
Tattletale.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, he's the golden child. But anyway, so 2nd grade, I got in trouble for probably talking a lot. And the way that you get a detention is you have to collect popsicle sticks.
What do you mean?
Every time you get in trouble, you have to put a popsicle stick in your little sack.
So then you have however many popsicle
I had
sticks,
however
and
many.
Then you get a detention.
And I got multiple detentions in 2nd grade.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that was 2nd grade. And like as I got older, I've been generally like a good student. Like I would get pretty decent grades, like B's and A's. And the incentive was my mom used to pay us for every A we got on our report card.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like she would pay however much our grade was. So if I was in 4th grade, $4 for every A, like whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're on the honor roll, she doubles it. And so I wanted to get on honor roll, but I could never get on honor roll because my conduct always sucked. I always had a C because I was always chatting. That's what the C stands for.
Oh.
That's not. It's not.
Oh.
I came up with that, but I feel like
you meant like a C grade.
Yeah, I got it. I think it was like
I'm so gullible. Oh.
Out of A through F, maybe. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I mean, it might as well be because that's why I got in trouble a lot. That's what I was known for in school. Like I was the social butterfly. My teachers always called me out for talking. Even if I wasn't talking, they would just assume it was me, and I'd get in trouble.
The scapegoat.
I was the scapegoat, which was fair, and like I was definitely disruptive, but sometimes it served me. For example, when I was in high school, freshman, I was in a Spanish 1 class with Mrs. Schroeder. Shout out Mrs. Schroeder. And in my Spanish class, like I was doing very well in Spanish. Like I was getting A's, and I did talk a lot in class. And so my teacher pulled me aside after class and was like, listen, you get great grades, but the thing is you talk so much, you could be distracting other students and make it hard for them to learn and get good grades.
That's a really good point.
She is a great communicator. And so she was like, I noticed the only time you're quiet is when you're eating. Because I would just bring home snacks and I would just be eating during class. And you're not supposed to eat in class. She's like, you're not allowed to eat in class, but I'll let you eat if you stop talking as much.
That's so funny. Which also, leads us to believe that you were also eating in class without being allowed to because she noticed. That's when you don't talk. So you already were eating even before she gave you permission.
Yeah, you know what? That's so true. So I guess the reframe, though, it made me feel real special. I don't know what it was, but I was like, I'm sure I talked a little less, but I still talked in class. But
Oh,
I was just like, damn, that is so funny that, you know, that teacher was like, this is the only time you're quiet, so I'll let you do this thing.
you know, you gotta like cater to your audience. You know, she figured out how to.
That's a good teacher.
Yeah, it is.
I thought
Instead
so.
of just like continuing to get you detention.
Because that's a puzzle. It's like the student isn't failing. It'd be different if I was failing.
Yeah.
But because I was doing pretty well, she couldn't really she couldn't reprimand me in that way.
Yeah.
So she was like, let me just, I guess, maybe incentivize. I don't know. It was a
Yeah.
great tactic.
And I would love that, being able to eat in class. I remember there was so many times where like I would have headphones out, or like one time I had my leg up on the desk, or had food out. Like I was always getting called out for stuff like that.
Like one time, and again, I don't know why I was doing this, but like I was in econ class senior year,
Mhm.
and I like brought scissors to class so I could like trim my split.
Oh, that's so mean.
So I was like trimming my split ends during class.
You're like, what is the problem? Why can't I? I
And
don't
the
understand.
teacher just fucking called me out, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't doing
Yeah,
anything.
I'm not hurting anyone. My leg up on the desk as I'm like, picking off my dry skin. What's the problem? My
Bro.
listeners probably throwing up right now.
I know. They're like, bro, pay attention in class. Stop doing dumb shit.
I know. I wonder if it's like, I mean, I've never gotten like, well, actually, I think I formally did get diagnosed with like ADD when I was like closer to an adult. But
Which is very common for women.
yeah, I mean, I've just always kind of like, I don't know if it's boredom or just not interested, because I don't think,
It's
'cause
not
you know how
as-
sometimes people, like students who are pretty academically gifted, are just bored in class. It wasn't really that for me. I think I was just like not interested.
Yeah, it wasn't
And so
engaging.
I was just like I just get very annoyed and like I can't sit still kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Which I do think are traits of it. But I feel like a lot of women tend to be pretty high functioning in ADHD or ADD
Mhm. Yeah.
because we kind of had to.
Yeah.
We had to figure out how to make it work because there weren't like guidelines for diagnoses for us as kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But because I'm not formally diagnosed, but I have a lot of friends who have been that
Mhm.
will either hear me talk about something or I'll do something and they're like,
You're like, yeah, you
I
are.
think, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
yeah, I do.
Undiagnosed. But the thing is like part of me is like, I mean, and this is a whole other topic because I don't know a ton about meds, but I'm just so sensitive to medication and like caffeine and stuff that I just don't even think I'd want to get on any of those meds anyway. I don't think it would be
I
good for my
know.
mental health.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever try like Adderall in college?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, me too.
I mean, like I would snort it to party.
Really?
But I would also use it to study, but I would like be pull all-nighters.
Oh,
I would like
bro.
pull an all-nighter before a test.
What they don't tell you about Adderall, which I'm sure they might have a YouTube video on it now, is if you take. So as a college student, I heard Adderall is like the thing to do when you have to cram for a final.
Oh yeah.
Took my first Adderall freshman year finals week for fall.
Mm-hmm.
And I was definitely fixated, but I went down a Facebook rabbit hole.
Oh yeah. If you get off track for 1 second, you can spend hours on the wrong thing.
Facebook for hours. I didn't know what
You're
I
probably
didn't study.
checking out like all of your like second grade classmates, see how they're doing.
Yeah. How you doing,
Those
bitch?
goody two shoes that don't get detention. Where are you now?
They're married, have kids. Great.
Yeah.
Great for them. I'm in an acting class crying to my teacher. Yay. No. Yeah. So it was just crazy. Anyway.
Now, did you ever get caught cheating?
Yes. I did get
Same.
caught cheating. College, I was reckless. I was
Mhm.
reckless. I was selfish. I think also like unmotivated or like,
Mhm.
just like struggle. It's a weird time.
Yeah.
You're just trying to figure shit out.
You're just
And
trying
so-
to party, really.
Yeah, it truly, especially going from like a Catholic school to like a public college, that was
Mhm.
wild. Freshman year of college, I failed calculus maybe 5 times. And AP Calc was so bad. I didn't understand a thing that was going on. On the AP test, I wrote sorry. I just
No, you
wrote
didn't.
Sorry. I was like, I don't know how to do
You
any of
didn't
this.
do any of those
I
things.
tried. I think I like started the equation and I was like,
No,
sorry.
sorry.
So anyway, failed. Had to take it again in summer school.
Fuck that. Summer school.
I know.
Brutal.
So I took calculus freshman year of college because I was like, well, I took it already, so I should know some of it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. So in this class, it's finals week.
Hate
I'm
math.
sitting in my final at the at some sort of lecture hall. And I don't know if you guys know Wolfram Alpha. You didn't use it, right?
No, yeah, you were telling me about
So
it.
Wolfram Alpha is like it at the time it was a website you can use. You could put in the full equation and then it would give you step-by-step processes that you could write down in your homework so it looks like you did the work.
Yeah.
And then it gives you the answer to the equation. So it gives you the direct answer and then breaks down the steps. So I had my iPhone in my lap. And this is like one of the older versions of iPhone, slow as hell.
Yeah.
I'm like on Wolfram Alpha typing the equations of my exam into the app. And I'm like trying to write it out. And I like wrote out the steps. I did my final. And then all of a sudden I get called in to I forgot, let's say the dean's office. And I was like, what's this about? So I go in.
This is later?
This is later, after the final. I don't
The
even
same
remember.
day?
No, I think it was like a week or so later.
Okay.
I'm in this office with this woman and they're like, oh, do you know why you're here? And I was like, not really. And then she was like, you got caught for cheating. The student next to you saw you use your phone.
Oh.
Yeah, saw you using your phone
What
for
a
the
little
answer.
punk ass bitch.
And they also said like one of the answers, like the steps didn't I don't know. It was very strange, but it sucked to get told on. I did cheat. So it's like one of those things where it's like,
yeah.
I mean, that is annoying someone told on me, but I did do something wrong. Which, it's calculus. To this day, I still don't use a damn thing with calculus.
Literally.
So
I hate math.
I hate math.
It's the worst class
It's challenging.
ever.
If I know how to do
hard.
basic addition, if I can add your tip,
Mhm.
I will do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
That's all we need.
Yeah. So a parabola.
Addition, subtraction.
Who is she?
You don't need that stuff. Like, could we get a course on taxes? Like, why aren't we learning that?
Yeah.
We had all learned that after.
I know. It's so, and I still don't get it.
No, literally.
Anyway, so got in
Yeah.
trouble. And then
So wait, what was the trouble that you got into?
So I still feel I haven't actually talked about this, but I think I was gonna get even like a really harsh punishment. I don't know because I lied. I basically
Mhm.
said I think I just started crying. And I was like,
Smart.
I've been going through a lot. Like my uncle just passed away and like it's been really challenging to like navigate everything.
And that's why she's an actor, not a mathematician.
Period. And also, so the thing about my uncle, I had already told this lie maybe once before for a final I didn't study for. I was afraid of failing. I was afraid of failing so much so in a class that I would rather lie about a family member passing away
Yeah.
to get out of the consequence of failing.
Mhm.
Which is crazy. Like I really feel like I should just let myself fail. But
Yeah.
the
I
lie
get that.
wasn't as bad to me because my uncle had already passed away.
Oh yeah. I
Instead
don't
of
mind killing off people that
already
died.
dead. Yeah. And then I was just like, I felt really guilty about it because I used that lie a lot through college.
Oh my god! What, when you would miss class and stuff?
No, well, like if I just like like ended up turning something in late or
Yeah.
like needed more
think I
time
did.
for something.
I think I have killed off my grandparents during those college years for sure, and none of them had died. So
No, well, and I still
bad karma.
I did feel bad. It made me have really bad imposter syndrome after because I was like, oh my God, I lied so much. Did I really deserve my degree? So it's not that I was guiltless about lying. It was just that's what I felt like I needed to do at the time. Not to say that it was right.
Well, I cheated when I got caught cheating in my lap as well. It was not an iPhone, that was a piece of paper. And I had on like a jean skirt. And when you sit, like a lot of times, like your pants will kind of do that crease.
Yeah.
Well, especially with the skirt. And so I
That's
like
so
tuck
smart.
the piece of paper underneath that crease. But like I kept kind of, like looking down. But I was trying to do one of those things where I would look down and kind of like look over here and then like, and then look down here and then like look over here. Like I was obviously not pulling it off.
Yeah.
But I was trying not to just like be looking down and up and down and up. I could see my teacher was like getting a little suspicious of me. And then he comes like behind me and he's livid and he sees it and he's like, Shannon, you're cheating. Get over here. And so everyone's still taking the test. And then He makes me call my mom in front of the whole class and tell her what happened while they're all taking their
front of
tests
the
in front of everyone.
That's fucked.
And I was like, oh my God. And there was a little bit of a hallway before you got, like, you walk through the door and there's like a little hallway and then the classroom. And I kind of like tried to hide behind, like around the wall, because I'm like, this is the most mortifying. I'm surprised he wasn't like, no, like, get over here. Like, you have to say it in front of everyone. But I like kind of like tucked away. And surprisingly, I mean, I think my mom kind of like said something to me afterwards, but luckily she didn't like ream me out. Like, you know, sometimes you can hear the person on the phone kind of yelling. Oh my God, it was the worst
That's
experience ever. And then I
so-
like legitimately never cheated again after that. Like I was like, I think that was like I needed that.
Public
that
shaming
learning lesson.
Is it kind of goes hard sometimes.
It works.
They kind of got to bring a little bit of it back, just a healthy dose.
Yeah.
Okay, your call reminded me of something. So I went to Catholic school, Catholic high school. You know, it was the time like freak dancing was becoming like a thing, and I loved freak dancing. I loved even if I wasn't into you as a guy, I just like doing it. It was fun.
Yeah, like grinding. You
Yeah,
mean?
like you just like grinding. And Catholic school, so we're supposed to leave room for Jesus.
True.
Okay, my friend and I at one of the dances, we got caught dancing, like grinding on each other, and the assistant principal, Mr. Alcott.
No shout out to him.
No shout out to him. Okay. That man, like, we had dress code, and like if you had like an undershirt and we had to wear collared shirts, if your collared shirt was buttoned and showed your undershirt, you'd get detention as a woman.
Wait, if you had
if I had a collared shirt that had buttons right here,
yeah,
and I had like an undershirt, like a tank top that went up to here or whatever, even if it was a t-shirt, if it was unbuttoned to a certain point, you would get detention.
Oh my God. And I bet the boys didn't have any.
No, they didn't have anything. So I would get detention.
Always with the goddamn skirts.
And he was the one that would enforce it. So no, Mr. Alcott. Anyway, Mr. Alcott pulled us out. He's like, you guys are, freak dancing. We're going to call your parents. So shout out Neil. Neil and I are like, oh shit, like we don't want our parents to get called and have to talk about us freak dancing and grinding on each other. So Neil calls his cousin. He's like, hey, we just got in trouble. Can I put you as my dad? So Neil changes his number, his cousin's number to be his dad's number.
Smart.
And so I was like, hey, Neil, can I use your cousin too? So he asked if I could use him, and his cousin's like, yeah. So I changed my dad's number to Neil's cousin's.
Oh my God. Did he not notice it was the same voice?
Did he get in trouble? Parents. We still got detention though, but
oh my God, smart. Wait, was this middle school or high school? Did you say
high school? Yeah.
Oh
that
my
was
God,
so
funny.
dumb.
That's
that was
genius.
hilarious. Pop off,
bitch.
play the system.
No, I love that. That's smart.
Oh, one more. It wasn't cheating, but there was a time where I had a paper that was due at midnight. And I was struggling. I have really bad procrastination issues. And so I was doing my paper. I wasn't done yet. And so I had this brilliant idea that right at midnight, I'm going to upload a corrupted file. So
smart.
I Google how to create a corrupted file, and then there's there's software, or like there was a website that you could like upload your file to, and then it would like
genius.
That's probably one of the smartest things.
If only you put this much effort into actually doing the project.
I know. So I uploaded a corrupt file, and then the teacher was just like, "Hey, I'm so sorry." Like a few days later, like, "Oh my God, your essay like didn't work when I tried to open it and download it. Can you just like resend it?" So I got an extension.
Oh my God. Well, were you working on it like in the next couple days?
I had it ready,
Okay,
but I was just like,
that
was
smart.
That was like my favorite thing. I'm sure it's different now. I don't know if that still exists. Don't do it anyway.
Yeah, don't do it,
Don't do it.
guys. We're just giving all the people all the ideas.
Ideas.
Oh wait, I forgot to finish the ending of the cheating story. No, I forgot about it. So my mom, of course, was upset with me because you don't want your daughters doing that kind of stuff, cheating. And then my dad, who was also he didn't like school. Like my mom and my sister are way more into school than my dad and I ever were. We're like, cut from the same cloth in that way. And he pulls me inside and he goes, Shannon, if you're going to cheat, you need to be a little bit smarter about it. What you need to do is unwrap a tampon, write the answers on the tampon, and then if your male teacher ever comes up to you, you just have to be like, no, I just have it's just a tampon, and he'll never want to touch it.
Okay,
he'll never ask you about it.
Okay, but then I don't. How did you see it? Wait, that's
I
so
was
smart.
like, Dad. Thank you.
Your dad is hilarious for
Oh
that.
my God. I think I like told my mom about that like years later. And she was like, Bill, what the fuck?
But you didn't do
I
it.
never used
That's
it.
so smart.
Because I literally was scared straight after that. Like I was like, I'm never going to do that again. But actually, I was like, you should have taught me this years ago.
I know, literally. I should just take a class so I can try that out. My mom has some crazy cheating stories too. I was like,
Really?
damn. Yeah, because she went to school in the Philippines. And like in high school one time, they had like this really big test. And their teacher loved reading like American magazines, like like
Cosmo.
Teen Vogue, like stuff like that, Cosmo. So they bought her a bunch before their test.
Mhm.
They gave it to her and she was like obviously like reading through it. And so as they're taking the test, I don't know how old they are, maybe high school.
Yeah.
She's reading the magazines. They answer whatever they know on their test, then they trade tests. They trade their test, like they pass it around. And then if you know the answer to that question, you just fill it out and then pass it. So they all did this. Everybody.
Well, because she's distracted reading magazines.
Yeah, she's distracted. Isn't this such a sitcom-y, like when I see
That's
see
so
it?
funny. I'm like, how did they not know? She didn't notice while she was just engrossed in whatever Ben and Jen.
Fucking drama. So anyway, everybody got 100%.
Oh my God.
Everybody got, and the reason why they were suspicious is, as my
Because
mom likes to tell
got
it,
100%.
she said even the dumbest girl or even the dumbest classmate. Oh, she went to an all-girl school.
Yeah.
Even the dumbest girl got an A. And so the teacher was like, hold on.
Yeah, wait a second.
Minute. So she had them retake it. But I was like, damn, y'all are diabolical.
They were so smart up until the part where it was like, okay, we all got to like make sure everyone gets one or like
couple wrong.
3 wrong. Different ones though.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I was like, damn, you guys are fucking diabolical. I didn't even think about that stuff.
Funny.
Mischievous.
Well, we actually do have a cheating story. So AITA for turning in a friend that cheated on a test. Now, they are 15 years old, so we'll try and cut them a little bit of slack. But I, 15F, and my friend 15F are in hot water because of something that I just did. And I'm starting to panic and consider that I am the asshole here. Background, our school is pretty strict regarding academic integrity and prosecute people who both send and receive restricted information about tests.
Prosecute?
Yeah, prosecute. It's very serious.
That is.
This is explicitly stated all the time. My friend, who I'll call Madison, has had a couple of instances where she asks me for potential test answers and I refuse to give them to her. We have had many conversations where I have stressed that I don't want to be involved in any form of cheating, even if just telling her what all is on the test. I understand how this can be annoying, but she could ask someone else if she really wants this info. Today, Madison and I had a test in English class, which is our 5th period, and that teacher is probably the most strict about integrity and cheating. As I open my computer to take the test, I see that in our class group chat, which is about 10 people, Madison has sent a list of specific answers to some questions on the test and follows up with, "Don't snitch though, y'all." I see this and ignore it, and then I take the test. Answers are hidden upon submission. And while waiting for the period to end, I'm texting my other friends, and we collectively decide that I should let the teacher know that she cheated. So after class, I spoke with our teacher and showed her the text conversation in question. She was not happy. Couple of periods after this, Madison texts me asking why the fuck would I do that to her, saying that I breached her trust and ruined her future. She also told me this would go on her permanent record. I feel pretty bad considering, first of all, I never wanted her to know it was me. I didn't want to hurt her feelings. I can't tell if I did the right thing turning her in or not, and know the test grades won't come out until after break. This is all happening the day after spring break, and the violation is being taken very seriously. I never intended it to go this far. Am I the asshole?
That's insane. Okay, wait.
I have a lot of thoughts.
I have so many questions. Okay, wait. So they're best friends.
She says my friend.
Oh, okay. Okay, but still.
Still.
Okay. Also, they had another group chat where they collectively decided this girl's going to be the martyr.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She kind of became the sacrificial lamb, I guess, too. Like everyone thought that, which first of all.
Did they use the answers? You know
Yeah,
what I
that's a
mean?
good
Like,
question.
oh, did you use the answers to get a good grade?
Yeah.
And then throw me under the bus?
Yeah. It sounds like OP didn't, original poster. It sounds like she didn't, but like maybe the other students did.
That's messed up.
But this actually kind of recently happened to me where I won't get too much into it because it's kind of like an active thing going on in my life, which maybe one day I'll be able to tell the story. But it's one of our friends is like not doing well, it seems. And a bunch of her friends have reached out to me to like maybe reach out to someone in her life that's like, you know, a family member. And I ended up doing it. And then she found out. And like now I'm the one that's getting all the heat, even though like I had a ton of
Everybody.
her friends, like her best friends, reaching out to me. So it does kind of suck to be the one where it's like, okay, well, we're all supposed to be a united front here, but I'm getting all the heat for it.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel for her in that way. I don't
Yeah.
agree with her going and doing this because
Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, in my scenario, we all genuinely thought we were helping her.
Yeah.
In this scenario, you're just telling on your friends.
Yeah. Man, and when you're 15, your world is so small. Like, you can't see past just high school.
Yes.
You know, everything is so dramatic and you take it to heart and it's so personal. And
Mhm.
so, because of how intensely the school is talking about cheating, like prosecuting cheaters
Yeah, that's
is
crazy.
correct. I mean, if you're selling the answers to the final exam, sure. But if it's
Mhm.
just like prosecuting is a crazy word to hear. And like to hear that as a 15-year-old, I'd be like, oh my God, you get prosecuted for weed, like
Yeah,
cheating. So
it's a lot.
I it's crazy that they you know are feeling like that's such an intense thing. We could go to jail. It's cheating is that bad. It's like,
Yeah.
bro, when you graduate, even past college, it's like cheating is like cheating is cheating, whatever. Like, yeah, maybe you might not have earned that grade to the best of your capacity, but like that test isn't going to matter in 3 years.
Right. And, you know, like obviously cheating is not a good thing. And I think, you know, there might be a bunch of you out there that do feel like, you know, like, yeah, we're supposed to be like living truthfully in the world, you know?
Yes,
And like
yes.
cheating as an adult is like, and I don't know, and well, I guess romantically, but what other ways can you cheat? Like cheating at work, like,
or like, yeah, your taxes.
it's one thing if you're
or-
like cheating the system and like, you know, sticking it to the man. Like
Yeah,
I understand that, but when you're like harming like little business, like small business,
Oh,
family owned, like
10,000%.
all of that. So I can see how like when you know, when you're a kid, some people do get that like, you know, shoved into their brain that this is like the way you act here is maybe the way you'll act
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah, 10,000%.
Which I don't believe because I think with you, like I've always had really good morals and I would never cheat out my friends. So that's where in this example, I think it's the friend that's actually the one, or the OP, is the one that's actually doing that, where it's like, yes, cheating is not good, but it's not your responsibility to now, like you're turning on your friend. So like you're the one that's actually being the one that is like not acting with the best morals because you're going behind your back and telling
Right.
on your friend.
And what's crazy is it's not going to be a big deal. Like, you might have felt like you did something right, but in 2 years, it's not going to matter. Like, it didn't push the needle forward in humanity. Like, I don't think you're right. Cheating is not good, especially if it's habitual. You know, we did talk a lot about cheating and lying, and it's not stuff that I think the difference is there's some people that do that shit without remorse, and that can be indicative of like a sociopathic, psychopathic tendencies, pathological lying tendencies, like whatever. That's true. That is true and real, and that is a concern. But for the general population, cheating on a test, like that's just not really a moral. I mean, but when you're that young, that's why I have to take into context they're 15. Like this is such a big deal to them.
But I would never do that at 15.
I don't.
Like I personally like always hated the people that were like, and now looking back, especially because, you know, she's saying here, like, I don't want to be involved in any form of cheating. I think I never put two and two together that by like when I'm copying someone else's homework, they're like being complicit in the cheating. So like they would get in trouble too. I think I was always just like, what's the big idea? Like, what does it matter?
Who
Like, just help me
cares?
out.
Right.
And I think, at least for me with cheating, like I think I just struggled in school. Like I was pretty good, but I would have a hard time and I was afraid of getting bad grades.
Yeah.
So I think there's like more going on underneath the surface of like why people cheat.
Yeah, there's a lot.
That's not like, okay, you're just a bad person.
Yeah.
But I would get frustrated with people who would like be this type of person that would like tell and tattletale on other people who are like just trying to get by.
Yeah, and like they were kind of trying to help. Like they weren't asking for answers this time. They were
Yeah,
like,
they were trying to
help
have
the
everyone
class.
else.
Okay, I will say sending a list of answers
Yeah,
to a
dumb.
10 person group chat. That's
Dumb.
insane, bro.
That's so
That's
dumb.
crazy. That's too much access.
No.
You got to be
no.
specific.
You got to be a little smarter than
I mean,
that.
I will say if the friend that is cheating, she should have known based on OP's responses whenever she's asked about like cheating
Yes.
that she's not someone that should be involved.
No. But it also sounds like everybody else was kind of on board with it
I
too. So
know.
it's sort of like, I don't know, maybe
I
it would have
call her
been
a
better.
soft asshole.
Yeah. I feel like maybe it would have been better to been like talk to her privately and be like, look, we don't want to be involved in any form of cheating. And by you putting the answers in a group chat with 10 of us, if we got caught, we all would get in trouble for that. So
Yeah.
like, fine if you want to cheat, but now you're roping us into it.
Yeah.
And that's not okay to do that.
No, 10,000%. So it sounds like I completely agree with that. I do wish they had chatted with her one-on-one, but I know as a 15-year-old, that probably
Yeah.
sounds way scarier.
Yeah.
Like confrontation as an adult sounds scary.
I know.
So like as a 15-year-old, I don't think I would have the capacity or like tools to
even-
be able to talk to a friend like that.
Right. Or even be like that emotionally intelligent to like come up with that idea where
Yeah.
it's just like, this is wrong. We're going to get prosecuted. So let's go to the higher ups and
Tell them.
Let's go to the adults.
Especially if you're being egged on by what sounds like hella people.
Yeah. 8 other people. And I don't think that that's fair that it all got put on her.
So I would say everybody sucks here.
Well, let's see what some of the commenters said. Top comment. I mean this in the nicest way possible, but you need to learn to mind your business before someone's had enough of the moral police getting them into trouble and actually starts causing you trouble.
Ugh.
You're only 15, so it's understandable you think you've done the right thing, and theoretically you have, but ratting on someone for no good reason generally doesn't get you very far. She wasn't hurting anyone, and none of your other mates volunteered to tell the teacher. I generally advise you to steer clear of being the moral representative of justice in cases like this where no one's being hurt. Soft YTA. Yeah. And I mean, and like I was saying, like looking back at my situation that's happening right now, I'm kind of like, okay, well, why the hell didn't anyone else step up to fucking be the one to say it, you know?
Did anyone at least reach out and be like, are you good?
To me?
Yeah, like after.
Yeah, and we've all
Okay.
like talked and stuff, but
But
they're
still.
but they're like, well, I don't want to say anything
Yeah.
now.
Which
So
is so
now it's like
annoying.
shitty because she might not be getting the help that she needs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
actually really
that's-
annoying the person who somebody told her that I did, and that's like, okay,
Oh,
well, you
yeah.
weren't being helpful at all.
Yeah, who the
So
fuck?
I'm so glad that that you care about your friend. Whatever.
Now.
Anyway,
But yeah, so I would say, yeah, soft asshole / everybody kind of sucks here.
yeah. And then we had some people that were on her side though. Let's see here. You did right. Cheaters never win in any aspect of life. Had someone else turned this group chat into a teacher, you also would be implicated. She's not much of a friend as far as I'm concerned. Guess that's kind of true too. I guess she is putting her friends in an uncomfortable position or potentially one where they can get prosecuted.
Literally.
We have another one, not the asshole. It's called consequences to your action and taking responsibility. I get too many, it's not a big deal, but those people, in my opinion, also don't really care about integrity. On top of that, if you didn't turn her in, the entire class can get in trouble for cheating. Happened at my school. Apparently someone put test answers into the TI-84 class, throwback, class calculators in a math class, and the teacher found out and everyone had to retake the test.
Okay, but then at least everybody just takes a test. It's
Yeah,
not
you
like
didn't really get into that much trouble. I think there's also a world where it could, like with the other students, maybe they would have to retake the test and that would suck. But I think there's a world where they could all just band together and be like, we did not ask for those test answers. She just put us in that group text. You know, like I think that they wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah, I do think.
I think
the
it's just
group
like
text
stay
is
out
crazy.
of it.
Yeah.
Maybe she was trying to get ahead of it before like she got in trouble, and maybe it's a hot take, but I don't know how. I guess I haven't really pondered about it as an adult, but I know as a kid that would piss me off, those type of people that would like tattle on other people just like trying to get by in fucking school.
Yeah. Unless it was like something that was like truly harmful. I do get the idea of like if someone found it. That's why I think like the group text.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, hindsight's so much clearer. But it's just, I mean, as long as they're not good friends, because how do you get back to a friendship?
I know. I mean, that is the thing, is like yes, maybe morally you did do the right thing, but I think now you might have to have the consequences that she's not going to be your friend anymore. And how important was that to you?
Yeah, 10,000%. I completely agree with that, because it's like, I mean, like as you get older, people do different things that are morally questionable.
Mm-hmm.
And you know so it's hard, because it's like I used to be so against weed, which is hilarious.
Oh,
I grew up, I was born and raised Catholic. So there were people that I would like judge and like look down on, but then that was like just hilarious. Freshman, sophomore year, and then junior, senior year, I was like way more open to it.
That's exactly how I was too. I was very against it, like until junior year, I think.
Yeah, and it's like I just feel like if you're gonna be on such a high horse of morals, it's going to be really hard to allow yourself to experience the nuances of humanity. Like,
I mean, I guess in this scenario, like I was just about to say, some people do have to learn the hard way. And in this scenario, like, yeah, like I guess maybe this is her learning the hard way, not to cheat. But it does suck that it's like coming at the expense of your friendship. Because I wouldn't be her friend again.
The way they treated it, though, it just sounded like drugs. Like they made it seem like she was offering like ecstasy to a bunch of people, and it's like, bro, it's test answers.
Yeah. Someone here goes, YTA, I get it, you're young and all, but I promise you, cheating on a test, I'm assuming high school, is as menial as things can be. It literally doesn't matter. Now, you may choose not to cheat for your own safety and conscience, but telling on someone who is cheating is a terribly asshole thing to do, because like I said, it doesn't matter. School is a mess, and tests, especially standardized tests, are just not worth fucking someone's history over. It's such an asshole thing to do, even more so to a friend. And then OP responds, I realize that now, and I feel so bad. I didn't realize it would go on her record and would never have, which although, so what the fuck is a permanent record anyway? But
I know. It's like always held over our heads.
I know, and I don't think it's anything. And she said, I would have never done it if I did know that. That being said, and this is not directed at you, this is directed at people reading this comment. Why the fuck are comments agreeing that I am the asshole getting so many downvotes? I can't win. Like, I realized it was an incredible shitty thing to do, but like, geez Louise, guys, she's extremely smart, and a small mark on her record won't do much, especially considering she wants to go to college in Europe. Yeah, I mean, people were all over the board, like she was saying here, like getting downvoted and stuff. Like, I don't know. So many people are either, saying both of them suck or on her side, the other one's side. So I don't really know. I guess I'm going to go. I kind of think this is one of those scenarios where you should have just stayed out, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I still stand with everyone kind of sucks here, because it does, as the person that is doing the cheating, like implicating people
without
that didn't
their
ask
permission at all.
Yeah, but then also telling on your friend and other people making her tell. Everyone just kind of sucks, but they're all really young, so hopefully, they chilled out a little bit.
Yeah.
She definitely shouldn't have told on her friend, especially because they know it's such a big deal. Ideally, she would have just talked to her.
Yeah. I think everyone sucks here too, because I do kind of agree with what that one comment was saying, was like just the way the school systems are set up are like not for people to succeed. Like, I'm a terrible test taker, so I think that was another reason why oftentimes I was cheating, and like the pressure of getting good grades. My sister was like third in her class. Like, my sister was a very hard worker when it come to school, so I felt a lot of pressure, and I also didn't want to do it. So then I just and I definitely didn't cheat all the time. Let me make that clear. But just every now and then when I didn't know the answers, I'm like, well, all right, let me write on a little piece of paper.
I'm probably the worst cheater, not only because of that story, but also I have terrible vision and I can't hear sometimes. I mean, I can hear.
You said you have terrible vision.
I do have terrible vision. I wear contacts, but my vision is like, even with contacts, like if someone's trying to show me an answer, I'm like, can you leave
Oh,
it
it's
there
like
for
very
like 5
obvious.
minutes? I can't see that. Or like, wait, what did she say? Can you say it again? I missed it. Can't.
So you're just not set
I'm
up for
not. I'm
success
not.
with
Yeah.
cheating.
So I have to, and I also want to set the record straight. I didn't lie all the time, and when I did lie, I still had to do the work. I just needed
Yes.
an extension.
Exactly, guys. Please still like us after this episode, okay?
But you know, we
Please.
had to deal with the consequences of whatever we chose. So you know, we chilling.
We're chilling.
We learned.
Everyone sucks here.
I think everyone sucks there.
Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Am I the asshole for refusing to make my daughter issue an apology to the class clown and telling the mother her daughter is a brat? My daughter, Ava, 14, is a good kid in general. She gets good grades and is pretty quiet at school, sticking to her friend group and not causing issues. I was surprised getting a call today that I needed to pick her up since she got in trouble at school. Basically, what happened was the class clown, Mia, such a typical class clown name, was messing around in class, was singing, dancing during class for no reason. My daughter had enough and told her to shut the fuck up. Ooh! No one likes her, and she is the reason, and no one enjoys school. A student recorded the whole thing. Mia ended up crying, and they both got sent to the principal's office. The principal wanted my daughter to give an apology to her. I told them no, and that we are leaving. This started the mom telling me her daughter needs an apology. I told her that her kid is a brat and she should learn how to behave in class. If she wasn't annoying as hell, my daughter wouldn't have had to snap on her after 5 months of this. She called me a jerk, and my daughter is iffy if she should apologize, so I'm making this. And then she says, edit to clear stuff up. The teacher was trying to get Mia back in her seat. This was in the middle of a lesson, and she was trying, and Mia was ignoring her and kept going. This wasn't a one-time thing. According to my daughter, she had been dealing with Mia and her behavior for 5 months. Another question I've seen, does she have ADHD? I have no idea. She's not my kid. If she does, it might explain some things, but it doesn't excuse it. So as the
I think Mia's parents
class
suck.
clowns. Okay, so you think that Mia shouldn't get an apology from Ava? So Ava is
that's
the
the direct
posters.
issue. Okay, I think they should be able to talk. Oh God, I want to do. I'm sorry, I'm doing. It's hard for me to answer this because I don't think
both sides.
I do see both sides. I think the daughter should be able to stand on business and not have to apologize if it doesn't feel right. Period.
Yeah.
Like, I do respect the mother for advocating for her daughter. I feel like this generation, I've heard a lot of people who are teachers, like my cousin, and like they're all our age. They're saying like a lot of the parents don't ever really take accountability for their kid.
Yes.
Or like they don't let their kids take accountability. They're always like, what did the other kid do? And in this situation, yes, OP's daughter, Ava, did tell Mia to shut the fuck up. But if this has been a compounding thing that everybody's been dealing with, obviously it's crazy that the teacher wasn't able to rein her in. I can't even imagine being a student. Like, I'm a mischievous student, but getting up and dancing and
while there's
singing during a lesson
going on
multiple times.
Yeah, that's taking it way too far. And that's also like wanting attention or something, maybe. And that would be so
I would be annoyed. No, I would
annoying.
be so I don't know if I think I probably would have done what Mia did.
Yeah, especially after dealing with this for 5 months.
5 months?
5
How can you
days a
learn
week.
anything?
Yeah.
And even if you don't want to learn anything, you still don't want to hear someone randomly singing and dancing during class.
No, they would drive me up the
Insane.
fucking wall.
So I think, okay, I'm on Ava's side.
I think there's a difference between being like a class clown in the sense that I was, because I was voted class clown, where you're just being like goofy and silly. But it's one thing to like completely disrupt the entire class.
Yeah, that's just disrespectful in general.
And I did have a friend that was like this, where the days where he was absent, it would be like, oh, thank God, like we can all breathe, because he was just such a disruption. And he was amazing. He was super fun and like really talented person, but just like could not, like, I guess, stay focused. I'm sure he had some undiagnosed something or other. But I don't know if it's like needing to be a center of attention or if it's just like completely
understimulated,
yeah,
or
understimulated.
what. But like that's why I said that her parents suck, because there's in no world, if your daughter is doing this for 5 months, there's no way you have not gotten any notifications from the
Prior.
administrators.
Yeah.
From the teacher, from the principal. I know, unless they're like completely unavailable and refuse to meet, there's no way you don't know your daughter is disruptive.
Yeah.
And you know your daughter's behavior at home.
Although I do have to say sometimes children
Are
act
different.
very differently around different people.
That's true. That's
which
true.
actually my parents would always say, because my parents would always get like compliments about me, like, oh, she's such a nice kid, like she's very, polite and blah 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 blah. And they'd be like, oh well, God, thank God she's like we can send her out into the world because she's fucking bitch.
I feel like
when
I got
she's at
that
home.
too. Yeah, I got that too. No, and that's so true. That's so real. So even if there is a disconnect and she's like an angel at home, if the teachers are telling you,
sorry, but the people who are angels at home but menaces out into the world, I always would side eye them. I'm like, well, you're like a manipulative.
That's manipulative.
Fuck.
Yeah.
If you are like a little princess at home with mommy and daddy, and then you're just a fucking bitch out in the
at
world.
school, yeah, that's because you're consciously code switching like that.
Yeah,
that's wild.
I had a friend that was like that. My sister and her sister were really good friends, so I would always have to hang out with her, and she was just evil. And I liked her older sister.
Is she still like that?
I don't know. I'm not friends with her anymore. The second I didn't have to hang out with her anymore, but I would notice that like around her parents, she'd be so sweet. And then she was a little devil to me.
Oh my God. That's scary. That's a scary movie in real life.
No, literally.
So I feel like her parents either, and that's like layered, probably way layered than this podcast can get into, but like there's some parents that, their kids have a clear diagnosis of something, but because they can't reconcile that there's something. And there's nothing wrong with their child. Yeah, there's something different about them. They can't reconcile with that, so they refuse to let them get diagnosed or help.
Yep.
And that exacerbates the problem. I actually have a cousin, her best friend, her daughter clearly has autism. She's on the spectrum. And she's now in this like really amazing school because of my cousin, who teaches there, or who used to teach there. And it's a great school that has a wonderful program for kids that have, developmental needs or are on the spectrum. But she refuses to get tested. She refuses to let her daughter get tested to get access to these great resources.
Oh, wow.
So now they're just like, oh, why does our daughter do this? Why can't she do this? Why isn't she like that? But it's like, bro, if you can just accept that she has autism or like at least let her get tested, she could get better skills for like coping with certain, tantrums or communication, stuff like that.
Exactly.
So that's why I feel like with me as parents, like they either don't want to acknowledge that there's something wrong with how she's behaving in school, or the school hasn't let her parents know, which I feel like is not possible.
Yeah, because it does seem like maybe the teacher is not as like, she said she was trying to get her back in the seat. So, and some schools do have like, I think pretty strict, like what teachers can say nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like obviously she's not going to be like really mean, but some have rules where, I don't know, you can't enforce things as much. But yeah, it kind of sounds like the teacher's like, if the teacher's not taking care of it enough to the point where a student has to tell someone to shut the fuck up, the system is not working.
Yeah, well, it sounds like the teacher is probably, well, I don't know how big this class is.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I feel like this teacher's probably tired, underpaid, has tried, and is over it.
Yep.
Like, because if the parents aren't going to do anything, then what is the teacher going to do? The student doesn't respect the teacher at all.
Exactly.
I can see multiple kids hitting a limit and being shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably
get a fucking
would.
headache.
Be like, bro, can you stop? And if they fight back, I don't know, then that becomes an argument. But
someone here says, info, this has been expressed to you by your daughter for months, but have you or your daughter contacted the school about the disruptions before? Has the teacher in the classroom done anything to ensure class remains focused on learning? And she says, yes, I'm sure that mom was getting calls from the teacher. I've sent an email before. I know a few other moms had too, and nothing changed.
What?
Ooh. Seems like that this student does need to be more of like a program. Like we did have some classes where like people who needed a little bit more of special like time on
Yeah,
tests
yeah,
and
yeah,
things like
yeah.
that would go to like a different
10,000%. But I think that needs to be
the
signed off by the
hell?
parents.
Yeah. Oh, someone here says everybody sucks here. The class clown for being disruptive. The teacher should have shut the disruption behavior down. And the principal who should have addressed both sides of the issue, your daughter, whose response was over the top cruel and vindictive. Oh, that's true because we kind of didn't get into the other stuff she said.
She
'Cause
said more stuff.
Well, she just also said, she said, shut the fuck up. No one likes her, and she is the reason why no one enjoys school. Like that was a little bit.
Oh, she said
mean.
that whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So shut the fuck up,
I would've-
warranted. Maybe don't say an F-bomb in school. But no one likes you, and
That's-
this is why. I mean, I get it when you're at a breaking point, but that
Yes.
was pretty cruel.
That's pretty cool. I was like vindictive about shut the fuck up. That makes more
Then
sense.
I do think that she should give her an apology, but something needs to be done about this.
Yeah, sorry. I thought it was just for shut the fuck up.
I know. I
Okay,
forgot
now
about
that I hear the whole thing,
I think that you do kind
she
of
should
need
have to. They should talk it out.
Yeah.
She should definitely apologize so they could talk it out.
Yeah, maybe have them all sit down and be like, and I know tensions can get high with that stuff, but just be like with the principal maybe mediating or something, but it's just like, okay, we need to solve the issue about how you're disruptive in class, but also you can't say those kind of things to people.
Yeah,
It's
yes.
hurtful.
That is really mean. I didn't even think about the rest of the
I
paragraph.
know, I didn't clock it either.
Yeah, I thought the mom was just describing the girl. But no, Ava said that. Yeah, I mean, I would be lying if I said I didn't understand where she was coming from. And if it were my daughter, I would hope that they could talk. Yeah. I would hope that Mia could at least be in the same room with the girls so that they could see each other's perspectives.
Yeah. Well, we do have a little update here.
I love an update.
It got out what my daughter did to the other parents, and they have sent me email receipts of how many times they tried to get the school to do something about Mia. Most of the parents are pissed Ava had to go to the principals. The principals sent an email about conduct in the classroom and a new policy that if kids disrupt a class, they will be taking action. Don't know what that means yet. Yeah, I think that I think that Ava shouldn't get in trouble for this, but I do think like maybe they both owe each other an apology. Sorry for disrupting class, and I'm sorry that I said no one likes you.
Yes. I would I would definitely apologize for saying the latter stuff, but the shut the fuck up part, it's just crazy to have no self-awareness to that point, but they are young, I don't know. I think, everybody kind of sucks.
Someone here says the only time you should apologize is if you're actually sorry. So if your daughter feels bad and wants to, then okay. But if not, then don't. OP says, yeah, I don't think she feels bad. She told me she would do it again, but was wondering if she should take the high road. I kind of think so. I don't know that I fully agree on the only time that you should apologize if you're actually sorry. Like, if you hurt someone's feelings, even though maybe you think you're in the right, you can still be like, I was wrong for the way I said it.
Yeah.
Like, I think you can still apologize for like specific parts of it. If you hurt someone's feelings, even if you like, I don't know. What do you think about that?
I do. I've been navigating this recently of like, I'm sorry for how you feel, but I'm not sorry for how I reacted.
Yeah.
So how do you hold space for both? Because, the other person that's seeking comfort of an apology, they're not going to feel satiated by hearing, I'm sorry that you feel this way.
Yeah, because that's not really like a full apology. But sometimes it's easier to apologize when like both people are apologizing,
10,000%.
I'm sorry for disrupting class, and I'm sorry that I said those things. It wasn't kind. I could have said it in a kinder way.
10,000%. I think that is so real. And I really am curious if this interaction gave Mia any kind of self-awareness or insight. I mean, maybe the comment of like, nobody likes you, that might have made her have to be like introspective and be like,
true.
Nobody likes, but like, it sounds like the parents, I mean, it's just a very small description of like the parent, but I think everything, the surrounding circumstances speaks volumes. You're not really doing anything about the notices you might have been getting from school about your daughter being disruptive. You're not even asking about the other side of the story when you hear someone yelled at your daughter.
Yeah. You're like, okay, well, what led to that?
Yeah,
let me
like,
get the full picture here.
Most of the time, it's like, my kid can do no wrong.
A lot of parents feel
And
that
so
way.
there's so much conflict because people can't just take accountability or set examples for how to take accountability for their kid. So that's kind of crazy to me. And I'm just like really passionately frustrated at the fact that these Mia's parents don't seem to be doing anything about, because Mia's not learning. Not only is she disrupting other people's learning, which is a high priority, she herself is not learning.
True.
You are not helping your daughter by projecting.
Excusing it.
Yeah, like you're not helping your daughter by pushing away the truth of what she might be experiencing, which is being unable to focus in class, being restless, it trickling out to affect everybody else.
Yeah, that also is another problem is like, yeah, you're not helping your daughter like get the help that she needs either. It's clearly being ignored. And so you're like you were saying, like you're not helping your daughter learn. And so it's affecting other people and she obviously has some kind of an issue. Like let's just say it's ADHD or something. So you're not setting her up for success by ignoring it and like just letting it be an issue.
And now she feels like a victim. So it doesn't seem like there's a conversation of like, do you know why she might have said that to you? It's more of like, my daughter probably didn't do anything. She should apologize. And it's like, okay, well, if Mia hears that, yeah, that's right, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what these people are thinking, but it just sounds like there's not really much self-awareness between the mom and the daughter.
Yeah. Well, also, we have another one here that says, I guess I'm in the minority for this, but why? I guess I'm in the minority for this, but YTA. At minimum, the language she used should be apologized for. It's not appropriate to speak to others like that, nor is it a productive way to achieve any type of end goal or solution. Your daughter used violent language, and you gave her the green light. Would you be okay if another child said those things to your kid? Kind of get that point of view too.
I do get that point of view.
Because then she's not teaching her daughter like, okay, well, you can't speak to others. I get that we have tried all these other things, and so maybe you are feeling genuinely like, well, yeah, that like if this was gonna get through to her, then fine. If it's finally gonna happen, and obviously the other parents are on her side, but someone says here like, yeah, you're kind of teaching your daughter to be a bully and zero interpersonal skills. If I was the parent, I would be like, look, I understand. And also I'm not a parent. So like, I don't know that I would actually behave this way. I definitely don't have a teenager. So I have no idea. But I would hope that I would be like, look, I understand why you did that. And you're not going to get in trouble by me because I get what led you to that. But, you know, we don't speak to people that way. Okay. Especially in class or in a work environment or things like that. You know what I mean?
10,000%. It is, I can see violent language, and that is not language that you can use in most formal settings. But I will say it did work in this situation.
I know, maybe yeah, you're right. Actually, consequences did happen. So sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah, because like there have been times where let's say like I'll ask someone like, hey, can you help me fix this? Still not done. Can you help me? Would you mind helping me fix this? What the fuck? This is still broken.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let me fix it. I'm like, bro, I asked you so nicely so many times, and it led to that point that I had to like, you know, some people respond to that.
And then you're the one that's the
problem.
I'm
a dick. I'm a dick. I'm an asshole.
No, I get that.
Yeah, but I do hope as a parent, like, just the nuance. There's so much nuance in this story. It sounds so black and white, but as people fill in comments and like we talk more about it, I'm like, yeah, I would hope that I could explain, like, I understand why you got there, but let's find a different way to communicate it next time. Let's just talk to her and figure out what's going on.
So maybe do we go ESH for this one too? Everyone sucks here.
Everyone sucks here. Yeah, I would go. I would say that.
Leaning a little bit more on Mia's
Mia's parents
side.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mia's parents. MPA. Mia's parents. Oh wait.
Asshole.
Mia's parents. Asshole.
Asshole. All right, perfect. Well, write in the Spotify comments or YouTube comments or my DMs and tell me what you think. We got 2 ESHs this time around.
Yeah, we get all sides.
We get all sides. Nuance, baby. Well, thank you so much for joining me, you little troublemaker.
Thank you for having me. It was
Tell them where
fun.
they can find you.
You can find me, like Shannon said, at UCB. We have a couple more shows left. We have one on the 16th. Oh, wait. When does this air?
Tuesday.
Okay, so we actually have 2 shows at UCB left. Hoop Dreams at 10 p.m. on a Monday, which is crazy,
Kinda
but
tough,
pop
but
off.
yeah.
It's February 16th and March 2nd, and also on Instagram at Jenae Lazelle. That's it.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Remember to rate, review, subscribe.
Yes.
Follow me on Instagram for all the latest and greatest polls. And love you so much. Remember, you can't spell drama without D.